back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with another foundation review, and I'm going to tell you a disclaimer. I don't know if you've been with me for like over a year, you know that every like 3 months my lips have a really bad breakout. I don't know, the doctors have no idea what it is. The only thing that helps is an antibiotic cream, but if you can see how red it is right here, and they're extremely chapped. So, you know, no lipstick looks good over it, but they're so red and swollen that I had to put something on. It's just, they don't look pretty. So try not to look at my lips. We're not here for the lips. I'm trying to cover up the red part. No, lipstick does not make it worse. Before somebody says something, just don't look good. But we're going to try to get past that because we're here to talk about foundation, not my lips. I just wanted to kind of preface that. But today I am reviewing the Guerlain Terracotta Joli Tint. This is a beautifying foundation with sunscreen, SPF 20, and a sun-kissed healthy glow. So this is like, it came out with their bronzing collection whenever that came out, because it came out with other, I think, other Joli Tint things. I don't know. It's not brand new, but I got it at the VIB sale in April. And y'all had mentioned in my haul update that you wanted me to do a separate foundation review on it. So I thought today would be a day to do that. So this is 1 ounce and it is $54. It's Guerlain. It's going to be more expensive. It does come with a pump though. So I do like the packaging, especially for travel. This is my favorite kind of packaging because it's compact. It's squeezable, but it does have a pump. So it's still easy to use. It only comes in 4 colors. But I think they're kind of thinking this is kind of like a BB cream. Let me see what the claims are. No, perfecting power of foundation with the comfort of beautifying texture, providing a radiant, healthy looking finish. I talk more about the color and how it kind of blends into your skin more. So I think with that kind of technology is why they think they don't need that many colors. I'm in the color Natural, which is the second color. There's light, natural, medium, and dark. I already told you kind of what it claimed. It says it gives an instant touch of summer, leaving behind a perfectly radiant glow. It contains nourishing natural ingredients which counter the visible effects of fatigue, reviving dull skin for an even complexion. Each shade, now this is, I think this is just a marketing scheme. Each shade is designed to work as a base prior to your terracotta bronzing powder to create a flawless customizable tan for every skin tone. So obviously this is a bronzing product. It's a Joli Tint beautifying foundation. It's part of the Terracotta collection, which is the bronzing collection that Guerlain has. Obviously, they want you to use the bronzing powder with it. I can tell you I did not. I used the Becca bronzer today. I don't have a Guerlain bronzer. I know that that's what they're known for. I've just never had it. Goodness gracious, when I started my channel, my all-time holy grail foundation was the Guerlain Lingerie de Peau. The original version, which they have since discontinued. I think if they hadn't discontinued it, it would still be my holy grail foundation. I absolutely loved it. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to pick this up, because of how much I loved that other Guerlain foundation. It does say it is formulated without parabens. However, it doesn't say anything else because it does have added fragrance. And I just looked on the ingredients on Sephora, and of course it just gives you bullet point ingredients. It doesn't give you the full list of ingredients, and I've had this for so long that I don't still have the box. Let me see if I can find it on Google. Okay, so it does also have alcohol. In fact, it's pretty high up on the list. This is not something, if you're like natural beauty, green beauty type thing, this is not something you're gonna get. It's alcohol and fragrance, which is very irritating to a lot of people. So keep that in mind. I'll tell you, if you're new to my channel, I do use foundations that have alcohol in them. I do use foundations that do not have alcohol and fragrance in them. I don't want to say never. I rarely will use a foundation more than 1 day in a row because I have so many. So I try, if I'm going to use something with alcohol, I try to only use it once or twice a week. It doesn't bother my skin. A lot of you will probably say it's long-term benefits you need to worry about. You could be breaking down your collagen. I could be. But you know, I could also walk in front of a bus tomorrow. So it's not the biggest thing on my mind. I just don't tend to worry as much about that. But I do want you to be aware, if you are very adamant about not having alcohol and fragrance, this is not going to be something you want to get. So I've talked about the claims, I've talked about the price, I've talked about the amount of colors, I've talked about the color I am in. The packaging. I think I've talked about everything that I want to talk about in an intro. So let's go ahead and cut over to the demo and see how this performs. Okay, so we're going to start by priming the face, and I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I haven't talked too much about this on my channel. It's fine. I mean, there's nothing, I don't want to sound too laissez-faire about it because I do kind of like it, but I will say I like it better than the Too Faced Hangover RX, which I think it's kind of trying to do the same thing, being like a moisturizer and primer in one, but I feel like this actually primes the face and gets tacky, where the Too Faced I felt like was just kind of like a glorified moisturizer. I do feel like, I don't think my pores are bad, but I'm going to take a little bit of the Cover FX blurring primer, like a little bit, and just put it right here. Okay, so we're just going to take the Terracotta Joli tint. Again, I'm in the color Natural. And I'm going to take 2 pumps. You can see how light that is right there. Let's see if it visibly changes on my skin. I'm going to try this side with the brush. I think this might be one I actually like better with a beauty blender if I remember correctly. I do for some reason. I'm just going to tap over it with my sponge. I say beauty blender, but I use the Beauty Junkie sponges if you're new. Okay, so still see redness. I think I would like sufficiently say it's light coverage right now. Let's finish up the other side and then we'll see if we can build it up. It does have a pretty strong fragrance upon first application. So again, light, like I can still see my redness. So I'm gonna take one more pump. So this would be the 3rd pump. I didn't even get my forehead up here. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more on each cheek to see if we can build that up. So that did build up really nicely, in my opinion. I feel like it's a solid medium coverage now. I feel like my redness has died down. I don't feel like it's gonna get any more coverage than this. So this is probably all you're gonna get. But it's sufficiently a good coverage in my opinion, especially if you don't have extremely problematic skin. But even if you do, I wouldn't rule it out because you could always go in and conceal your most problematic spots, because I still think it's a nice finish. It's not luminous, but it's also not flat matte by any means. It really is one of the more natural finish foundations that I own. I feel like my skin doesn't really look that much different than before I put it on, other than the fact that it's evened out and my redness is taken away. So, can you tell how much darker just from the product that's left that has gotten on my skin from when I first put it on? So that's what it does on the face. Like when I first applied it to the face, it looked too light, but it almost takes on a bronzier tint as it settles into your face. I don't want to say it's oxidization or oxidization, however, I don't want to say it oxidizes, let me say that, but it almost like it transforms to the exact perfect color you need it to be, because this right here is the exact perfect color that I need it to be compared to the rest of my body. So I'm going to finish up my makeup and I'll be right back to talk more about the foundation. Okay, so this is what it looks like with all of the other makeup on top. Don't pay attention to my crusty lips. I feel like they look crusty. But if you look at just the actual face, you can see that I feel like everything went on really well on top of it. It could be, you know, the blurring primer that I used, but I do think my pores don't look bad at all. So that's what you get. I tried to keep it on my hand. I did not touch it from the last time I showed you, and you can tell it's even darker now. It's pretty much blended into my hand completely, and so that just goes to show you how it kind of meshes in with your skin. So I think I'm gonna do like an end of the day check-in just to show you how it works. I will say I don't have any like notes written on this because it's just something y'all decided you wanted me to do after I showed this foundation in a haul update. So I don't have like days of what primers and what powders and stuff that I used, but I can still tell you, you know, at the end of the day when I go over my final thoughts, how it works with different primers and whatnot, because I have been using it obviously since I've gotten it. So even though I don't have like set notes of set days, I still have a really good idea of how it works. So I will come back at the end of the day. It's early. I'm getting ready for church. It's like 8:30. So I will have a really good test of this and how it works out today. So I will be back in, I don't know, maybe even as much as 12 hours. We'll see. We'll see, but I'll be back. Okay, so it's now 6 o'clock. I'm in a different shirt. My hair's up. We had to go out. Chad needed to take some like outdoor pictures for his business in 105-degree weather. So even though I haven't given it the full 12 hours like I originally said, you are going to see how it holds up in that kind of heat, because I was literally like hair wet, shining, gleaming. I just wish it looked like gleaming and not nasty sweat, because it looked like nasty sweat. So you can see how the foundation held up. Quite honestly, I think it did pretty well. I have not touched up. I do think it got a little bit, not shiny. It wasn't like I felt a need to touch up. It was just radiant. It became more of the radiant finish that the claims said it was, versus right when I had put it on. I did use the Chanel powder, and you saw the primers that I used. And I'm going to say, I really don't think it matters what kind of primer you use under it. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more luminous if you use a luminous primer, and so on and so on. I prefer either like a regular primer like I used today, or something like my Dr. Brandt Pores No More, or something like that. Something that will kind of not exacerbate the shine or the radiance that is in the foundation. But I will zoom you in. So, I mean, honestly, how many hours have I had this on? 9.5 hours, and 2 of those were outside in the heat. I think it held up really well, honestly. It's not sinking into my smile lines, at least not like some foundations tend to do. If you hear knocking, my kids are down, my girls are down there taking baths and showers, and my bathroom's directly under us, so they're just having a field day. Chad's with them, so nobody thinks I'm parent who ignores her children. But I honestly, I mean, I don't think my pores look bad. I feel like it's held up really well. So as far as longevity, I'm super impressed with the foundation. You can see it, I mean, it didn't get any darker, but it just, I mean, it's like it knows what your skin tone is. It knows what color you want it to be, because that's what color it is. And every time I felt like I looked in the mirror, like passing by or something, I was like, I look like I'm really bronzed, like I'm really tan, but it didn't look like my face was darker than my body. It just, I don't know, it gave that kind of illusion to the skin, I guess you would say. So obviously you can tell I really do like this. It's not something I'm going to wear every single day because of the alcohol and fragrance in it, but it's definitely something I'm glad I have in my collection of foundations, and one that I do reach for more often than not in the summer, because of, you know, the bronze illuminating factor that it brings to your skin. It's just so fitting for this time of year. So hopefully that was kind of a condensed review version of how I feel about this Teint BB cream foundation. It says it's foundation, so I'm not going to call it a BB cream. But those are my thoughts for sure. Let me know if you've tried this and what you think about it, if you did not already tell me in my haul updates video, and if you think you might give it a try now. Guerlain foundations have yet to do me wrong. I'm thinking about getting the new updated version of the Lingerie Depot, although I don't know that it could be. I feel like I tried a sample of it and liked it, but it wasn't anything like the original. So, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get a Guerlain bronzer, since that's what they're known for. Maybe I should stop rambling about random makeup items that have nothing to do with the foundation I'm talking about. So I am going to get off of the camera right now, but be sure and subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very blessed day.